but also inform the House, Honorable Speaker.
A very good evening wherever you're following. This is a Freak 24 political discussion. We here so that also we can break down to other Kenyans who are following this great conversation on what is happening when it comes to the Kenya Kwanza government and also the Butere saga that is trending in the whole world. We have seen international media houses, the likes of CNN, the likes of BBC, pointing out on the issue that happened yesterday at Nakuru County. Yet, the President of the Republic of Kenya has not responded to what happened yesterday. And this is something that is touching one of the sensitive ministries that we have in this country, and it's the Ministry of Education. The President has not addressed, but the close friends of the President, the likes of Murkomen, they are of course doing that. This is something that we need to discuss here. And as we break down today's show, I welcome you wherever you're joining this great conversation. Make sure you become part of this conversation by subscribing to Freak 24. Join us and also make sure you will be entertained by this show. But most important, we are here to inform you. We are here to make you know what is happening. But it's a sad situation of this country because of what happened in Nakuru County. Several leaders have reacted to this, and it's really alarming when it comes to the East Africa and the entire Africa continent. We have seen how several in media houses have reacted to this, and still we have not gotten the solution. The solution is the President of the Republic of Kenya to talk and address the issue. The issue to be addressed by the President of the Republic of Kenya. What do you think? Are we heading in the right direction after what happened in Butere Girls? Of course, that was literature raising issues. Several leaders have said, why is the President and the entire government insecure? Yet, the close friends of the government, they are responding, saying that Malala should be arrested. And he has been writing this poem since 2012. Even Murkomen tweeted, there is a tweet that is going around whereby Murkomen tweeted about Cleo Malala, a script that he wrote in 2012. This is Silvana Zozoro, of course, when he was addressing about the issue.
I want to associate myself with the statements that have been made by my colleagues, but also inform the House, Honorable Speaker, that I've had an opportunity to discuss with one of the top education stakeholders as far as this drama is concerned, and he did inform me, Honorable Speaker, that the theme of this year's drama festival for the secondary schools was leveraging technology to nurture talent while inculcating national values for socio-economic development. Honorable Speaker, that was the theme of this year's, or that is the theme of this year's drama festival. Leveraging technology to nurture talent. To nurture talent. Technology, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the excerpts of what is purported to be the drama by Butere Girls, Honorable Speaker, it has nothing close to technology, Honorable Speaker. The chance that you hear the girls, the small girls in school, citing is, at one point you'll hear them say, Kasongo must go. At another point you'll hear them say that we want our rights, Honorable Speaker. While, Honorable Speaker, we condemn, if it did, it's true, that the students were chased out of the compound, Honorable Speaker, if it did, it's true, we condemn such, although that is not really confirmed by the authorities. We also must speak as parents that we are encouraging a rebellious generation, Honorable Speaker, which is not really fair. We are encouraging and growing a younger generation that believes that whatever they say, whether it's wrong, they shouldn't be redirected, Honorable Speaker. And this is very wrong. This play, Honorable Speaker, does not have any rightful word to praise it, Honorable Speaker. What needs to be done, if there was a gap midway, Honorable Speaker, within the structures of education that admitted a play that not realigned itself with the theme of this year, right from a politician. And even to the parents, they need to ask themselves this question: why are you clapping that a politician drafted a script for your student in school? How should you be taking pride and say that there is a politician who actually he said not to have gone to any university? That just because he's creative, his papers are questionable. He is the one that drafts a play, Honorable Speaker, in a national school like Butere Girls. And you as a parent who wants your student to go to school, go through a proper education, Honorable Speaker, and get outside there to be creative. You are clapping and saying, you know, he created a script. If you tell Osoro today, Honorable Speaker, to write a script, I'll write a script that befits my political line of thought. If you tell Malala, Honorable Speaker, or any other person, they'll write a script based within that line of script, Honorable Speaker, and their line of thought. Does it befit or does it go in line with the education standards of this country? It doesn't, Honorable Speaker. As we are speaking to Honorable Speaker, Honorable Malala should actually be charged. It should be, in fact, even if you write a script and it's admitted in school, the process of directing that script, Honorable Speaker, should be left to the person who's gone to school, a teacher with a TSC number, to direct the script that has been written, not a person with political intent. That on Sunday was talking about that question of Kasongo, and on Tuesday, that play is being pushed by those students, Honorable Speaker, using small children to drive our political agenda. No, that shouldn't be allowed. As we speak today, Honorable Speaker, the director of education in that county should actually be answerable. The sub-county education director should be answerable. The teacher that admitted such, the principal, they should be answerable, Honorable Speaker, because it is wrong by all standards, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Dido Raso, as the chair, when can you bring the statement?
And I have committed myself that nchi yetu ya Kenya tutaondoa ubaguzi.
President ameshikana na Raila. Nataka kumwambia nikiwa
That is Silvana Sosoro, of course, when he was addressing in the parliament, and he's saying that even Cleophas Malala should not be allowed to drive political agendas using the small kids in that school of Butere Girls. And the Butere management today, we have seen the board of management has been disbanded by the education CS Ogamba, whereby a lot is being circulated through the social media after the yesterday's saga. And Natembe also said that this is the government that we chose in 2022, and the government is insecure. The government is insecure of what is happening. The government cannot control the nation peacefully. They have to involve those dramas. Are we really going to continue like this? Are we heading in the right direction? Of course, if you are heading in the right direction, make sure you tell me here live. Join the studio through the comment section and tell us what is your view about yesterday's saga. Several people have reacted to this. Others are saying that it's not the right way we should handle things in this situation. But now, amidst we saw the presidential tour that happened in the mountain, and several people attended the presidential tour, and the tour attracted a lot of people, a lot of members of parliament, a lot of governors, and there was no heckling, there was no issues that were registered during the presidential tour. Now, why would people channel the political agendas to the kids? Because the kind of information that is being circulated in the social media is totally different from what we should expect from literature and the drama festivals. I was following one of the content creators today when he was having some of interviews, and he said that this is not acceptable at all. The president should address the Ministry of Creative Youth and Creative Affairs. Of course, we have not heard from the Minister of Youth, Creative, and that is the new cabinet secretary for the Ministry of Youth, Sports, that is Salim Boria. He has not addressed this issue. This issue is cooking a lot of content in the social media, controversial to what we expect. But we wish that these things are going to stop. But of course, you know, Gachagua has been slamming what is happening. He has been making sure that anything concerning the Kenya Kwanza government will be stopped because he believes that they are not doing the right thing. He believes that the Kenya Kwanza government, after his exit, no one who is responsible for running this country in the right direction. This is after even members who are very close to him, the likes of Mutaiga, they applauded the president during his tour in the mountain.
Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a guest last week. And if I do not stand here and thank all of you for heeding to my call, when I made a call to all of us as the county of Nyeri, the populace and the people who rightfully have a right to riot because it is their son that was impeached. But I said and I called upon all of you, went to the radios and said, leadership comes from God. We participated in putting our president in State House. We voted. We must respect that. And we must respect the presidency. We must work with him now because we rightfully deserve any development that was set aside from the 3 trillion of this year for Nyeri must come. But I knew that will not come if we are throwing stones. Ours is to be patient, to listen, to receive. Even now, as you go out, you are going to meet with a number of people who are making noise. They are from Mudavadi, and they are making noise because the national government wants to do them a market. It is going to be a market almost of about, I don't know whether, is it 3 stories? 1,008 traders. So we are going to sit together and like always, remember what the book says in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 18, chapter 1, verse 18, that come, let us reason together. When people speak to each other, when people stop talking at each other and they sit together, they talk, they agree, they are able to go. My biggest question is this. The fact that you did not shout at, people did not shout at the president, they did not stop him doing that, did that one change anybody's life? No. But he went home a better person. Next time somebody calls him and tells him, Nyeri, unaonaje? If there is anything around there, because I'm in government, I know what happens. Akipata, and I told him, boss ukikaa kaa huko uone kitu ambao hakuna county inataka chukua unilete. Si ni kweli? Wakati huko. Hiyo mambo ya 2027 tutapangana. If he can convince us, we will give him. Akishindwa basi sisi hatutakuwa na makosa ama namna gani? But that is, I must tell you as the people of Nyeri, I really appreciate. Last but not least, like I said, let us continue in prayer. Let us continue in prayer for this county, for this country, because we do not have an alternative country. You can move to another county, but can you move to another country, really? So may God bless all of you. I look forward to attending the next year's, the 12th county prayer day, and as we go, and I'm also glad that Akolino Megoko. Akolino Mwegwa. Lokama itodo mutiri ide makamenya moyokwa. You know, very good. This is a year of inclusion. Everyone must be included, si ndio? Sasa ile mtu hakuleta ile wa mapasta wake ni huyu nani? Kasturi. Wapi ile watu ya kuweka watu kitu hapa? Si ungeleta hata hao wakae hapa, hii maombi ni sawa, isn't it? So thank you so very much, and let me end by saying this. Si utafuta Bishop Arudi tena. Ndio a pick up sasa, ametueleza. And so we are now at ask and shall be given. Haya, imekwama. Knock. No, see.
That is Mutai Kaiga, and of course, Mutai Kaiga is one of the close friends of Gachagua when he was addressing during the presidential tour in the mountain. The impeached deputy president felt like he was betrayed during that presidential tour. But after the interview with one of the ministry media houses, he said that everyone is free to join any party that he or she feels that he want to join, but mountain will remain to be firm. Also, today we saw a situation whereby there was that Mwai Kibaki Memorial Remembrance Services, whereby the opposition leaders led by Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, even Gachagua was there. They discussed a lot of things, but also they slumped the issue of Butere girls. It's the hot topic of this country, the issue of Butere girls.
The panelists, the professors
It's
who have talked
circulating
to us,
from north
and
to
all the
south,
people who
east
have
to
come here
west.
for
Every
this
part of this country is talking about the
memorial
Butere
lecture and
saga because
luncheon
these are small
for the greatest
children
president of
who
our
have been
times,
given this role.
the late Mr. Mwai Kibaki. Good afternoon. I'm really very honored that I was invited to come for this lecture, and I want to thank the professors who spoke here to us about the leadership of Mr. Mwai Kibaki. Mr. Mwai Kibaki is a legend. He's a reference point in matters governance. And anybody who talks about governance in this country, there is reference to his leadership. He left a legacy that remains permanent, that is visible, and that is felt. His greatest achievement was the economic restoration and transformation of this country. And because I'm somebody who listens to the ordinary people, they tell me, don't tell us about economic growth, don't tell us about economic survey, don't tell us the economy has improved from this percentage to this percentage. We want to feel the growth the way we felt it when Kibaki was president. Because there was money in circulation, there was infrastructural development that is feasible, and people say they don't want to be told theories. They want to feel economic growth the way they felt it when Mwai Kibaki was president between the year 2002 and 2013. I want to really acknowledge the culture of hard work that the late president inculcated in all of us, asking people to work hard. I remember when he was sworn in as president and he made his first visit to Obaya, and those of us from Nyeri were very excited to welcome our son home, and we were lining up everywhere waiting for him. And when he reached Karatina, where I was, he didn't come out of the vehicle. And he lowered the window by a few inches, and then called the PC, akamuuliza, bwana PC, nini naendelea hapa? Hii watu yote, it was around 11. Nani nachuna majani chai? Nani yuko kwa shamba ya kahawa? Hapana, 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 tutaharibu. Tukiendelea namna hii tutaharibu. He put the window up and drove to Odaya. Nobody ever came again to meet Mwai Kibaki. Watu walienda kwa mashamba. And that is how this country was transformed. The culture of hard work. I want to say that many people today who are solid in this country, I included, we made our money during the time of Mwai Kibaki. Because government documents were respected. If you had an LPO issued to you from government, you could walk into a bank and get 50% as LPO financing. Because you do the work and you will get paid. Today, if you go to an LPO, to a bank, nobody will talk to you. He really dignified government contracts by making sure that contracts were only given when money was available and there was budgetary support. These great men pushed taxation, and we want today, as we remember him in a very fond manner, to say there's nothing wrong with taxation. And Kenyans cannot be accused of refusing to pay taxes, because Mwai Kibaki did it. Lipa kodi, ujitegemee, and people paid taxes, and they didn't complain because they saw a corresponding development and services. Kenyans don't have a problem with paying taxes, but Kenyans have a big problem in paying taxes that they cannot see what the money is doing. So we want to ask our brothers now in government to know that Kenyans are not complaining about overtaxation because they don't want to pay tax. They have a problem of paying taxes that are misappropriated, that are not used appropriately. And Mwai Kibaki is a living testimony that Kenyans are willing to pay taxes, but they want to see a corresponding service and development. Mwai Kibaki respected institutions. Ambassador Muthaura is here. And
thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Kibaki family, the DP leadership, the distinguished panel, and distinguished guests.
Kenya, distinguished guests, the panelists, the professors who have talked to us.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Kibaki family, the DP leadership, the distinguished panel, and distinguished guests. Good afternoon. Let me start by thanking the Kibaki family and also the DP leadership for giving us the opportunity to be here today to remember a great leader. And as His Excellency has said, I think he's the most consequential leader of our republic. And as we remember him today, we remember words of a wise man who said that sometimes we are all warmed by fires we did not light, and we drink from wells we did not dig. This great leader, when you look at his symbol, there was something very unique about Kibaki. It was always about light. His symbol ya DP ilikuwa ni taa, mwangaza, lighting the way. When we came to NAC and several of our parties came together, my late brother had fought Kenya, we had others. Forming NAC again, Kibaki chose light, mwenge, the torch, to light the way. And the light that he left us is the Vision 2030. That is still the light guiding the journey that is our national development. We're in 2025. We have 5 years to go to 2030. So as we meet here today as leaders, let us start thinking about another light that from 2027, as we form the next government, we can have a leadership that can light another light beyond 2030, beyond Africa Agenda 2063. And I see that leadership in this room. I see the next government in this room. I thank the organizers for choosing this historic venue. Mwai Kibaki once met here with his friend Wamalo Kijana and his other friend Charity Ngilu. The late Kihika Kimani asked, ni nini wanaume wawili wanafanya na mwanamke mmoja kwa hoteli? Kumbe Kibaki was forming the next government. So those of you who are here, Kibaki's friends, let us look at this as a 202 moment. Let us drink from this well of inspiration, and let us be inspired to save our country, because apart from Vision 2030, the greatest legacy left us was the Constitution. He appointed me as Minister for Justice, and I remember when I invited him to address the judiciary, they were bidding him farewell. I told him, Mr. President, I don't know what historians will write about you. What would be your greatest legacy? They would have a hard time because they would wonder whether free primary education was your greatest legacy. They would wonder whether the phenomenal infrastructure development was your greatest legacy. But I told him, Your Excellency, I think your greatest legacy will be the Constitution 2010. All we need to do as a country is to remain and to protect that constitution and to implement it fully and faithfully. It's being violated time and again. It was violated last year on the 25th of June when young people, the Gen Z, were slaughtered, demanding for accountability, good governance, and an end to corruption. Yesterday I was in Nakuru as a lawyer acting for Butere girls. We are not talking about the Gen Z. This is the Gen Alpha. Kids, children being tear gassed, being injured, being denied one of the most fundamental freedoms in that constitution, freedom of expression. A child should be allowed to express themselves freely, not as a favor from the state, but it is a constitutional protection of our children, nationally and internationally. So as we remember Mwai Kibaki, let us remember to remain and to uphold fidelity to our constitution and to get in place the right leadership in 2027. Thank you and God bless you.
I think Ambassador Muthaura.
That is Rigi G and Eugene Mala during that remembrance for Mwai Kibaki, the late president. And they are saying that he is the only president who has worked for the people of Kenya, and he is only who can be remembered day and night. When you go to Thika Road, then you remember Mwai Kibaki. Even Dindi Nyoro, of course, the Kiharu member of parliament, the other day he was saying that he remembers that day when Mwai Kibaki said that the only way you can be recognized by your local residents is by the way you are performing, the way you are giving them service, because at the end of the day, you are going to be rated by the service that you give to your people. Either you are a member of parliament, a member of a county assembly, or you are a governor. We have 47 counties recently, and we are having some of the counties that are being neglected. Some of the counties, they are not up to the standards. Money is being squandered. So that is how today we also saw Mwai Kibaki being remembered. Many leaders came through. Kalonzo Musyoka also was present and is the official opposition leader in this country currently after what happened. Raila Odinga joining the government, and also we saw yesterday the CS for mining, blue economy, that is Hassan Joy, said that 2027 ODM will be in ballot. They are going to be in ballot. So joining the government does not mean that they are outside they are outside the 2027 general elections. And only he said that only fools, they don't change their mentality. That is why now they are working with the Kenya Kwanza government. And you remember Joe with his own word during the 2022 campaign, kama mbaya mbaya, kama noma noma. So that was Kibaki remembrance. Of course, Gachagua was there, and you know Gachagua today is a limelight, being followed by media house home and away, because of the headlines that he is making. Natembea, of course, he roared after the yesterday's saga
Ningependa
in
kuchukua
Butere.
nafasi pia kushtumu lile jambo ambalo limefanyika kule Nakuru, hapo wanafunzi wa shule ya upili ya Butere ya wasichana wameingiliwa sana mpaka ikafika kiwango kwamba hawakuweza kuperform. Na mnajua mambo ya drama ni drama tu, na lazima play nzuri lazima reflect reality. Na sisi ambao tu katika sehemu za katika nafasi za uongozi, hiyo ni njia moja sisi kupata feedback kwamba hivi ndivyo wananchi wetu wanahisi. Ikifika wakati ambapo watoto wa shule wanakuwa na play kama hiyo, wengine wanaangalia nani aliscript hiyo play, but ujumbe ule ambao kwa hiyo play ni upi. Na sisi kama viongozi tunatakana encourage watoto wetu wakuwe na freedom ya expression, yale mambo ambayo wanaamini yanaendelea katika taifa la Kenya wanayoonyesha katika hiyo play. Lakini mkisema kwamba sasa kwa sababu wanasema ule ukweli ambao upo wanyamaze, hiyo ni kumaanisha kwamba unafunza mtoto kwamba akiona jambo lolote ambalo linaendelea hata katika jamii ambalo sio nzuri, ile option ambayo iko nayo sio kusema, sio kuongea, ni kunyamaza. Lakini pia lazima tujue kwamba yale mambo ambayo yanamkandamiza mwananchi, isipopata opportunity ya kuventilate, ya kujiexpress, ya kuyasema, lazima tafuta njia ya kutoka. Na mara nyingi hiyo njia ambayo ya kutoka utaimanage. Mimi kama nilikuwa serikali, hata ule mchezo mimi kama waziri kwa mfano ama director education, angekuwa pale na participate, tuna asikilize fan, asikize vile watoto wanaongea, vile wanapatia feedback. We are creating mountains out of molehills. Serikali itakani kuwa insecure. Kama tunakuwa insecure, kiwango cha kuogopa watoto wetu wenyewe, kiwango cha kuogopa wale watu ambao walisema hawana uwezo wote wakafukuza kwa serikali, sasa wao ndio wanatia serikali. The government is not supposed to be so easy to scare vile serikali ambayo inafanya. Maana serikali kaanza kuwa easy to scare, wataanza kutumia tactics ambazo sio nzuri za kuintimidate watu, za kufinya watu. Na mimi naona hii serikali hapo ndio inaelekea. Serikali ambayo haiwezi kukubali dissent or difference in opinion. Tafika mahali kwamba the only opinion ambayo ina matter itakuwa ni opinion ya serikali. Na mimi ningependa kuhakikishia kwamba hilo halitafanyika. Nyakati hizo tulitoka huko na haitafanyika. Hata mkizima Butere utapata wengine pia wanafanya. Labda wengine hawana ile stage na mnazima watu waende kwenye stage. Lakini kuna stage nyingi sana huko nje. Hata kule nyumbani pia ni stage, vyombo vya habari, social media, hizo bado pia ni stage. So don't start a war that you really can't win. So tunataka Kenya kuwe na amani. So that we focus on issues that really matter, badala ya kuwa na side shows. Wewe mtu mzima kama usibidi kwa mfano unasikia namna gani, ukifinya msichana na 15, mwambie kwamba hawezi kuongea, unaleta askari unatupatia gas. Tunafunza watoto wetu nini? Lazima tuanze tu kuwajibika.
What happened? Sad situation in this country. Very sad. But we will see how the president will react to this. Today he was inspecting the Talanda Stadium that was that is under construction by the Kenya Defence Forces in Jamhuri, and he said that he's happy with what is going. The Chinese are doing their job, but he never commented about the Butere saga. Butere saga is something that is raising a lot of eyebrows in this country. So I can see we have a lot of people following this conversation. Make sure if you're following us here for the first time, you subscribe to Afrique24, follow us through the social media platforms, and also join the entire conversation here so that we can discuss more about politics in this country. And after what happened yesterday, whereby Butere girls were tear gassed by the police, and also the director Kilio Malala arrested, taken to Eldama Ravine, whereby he was later released after 10 hours. Several leaders are still giving their opinions after what happened yesterday. They are responding to the Gen Alpha being tear gassed. They are responding to those allegations that the play, The Echoes of War, that was written by Kilio Malala as political intentions. But what is the work of the literature? What is the work of literature in the society? Because literature, you don't read it to just pass exam. It's read to give you life lesson. Life lesson when you read literature. Of course, recently we have seen how members have been reacting to that saga.
Their bosses, who are the governors. If you hear of a county where the relations are cordial between a governor and their deputy, if you hear of a deputy governor who is enjoying their work, it directly speaks to the person of that governor. And you will even hear praises of that governor, that he's a good governor because he has a choice of making their deputy productive or not. There's also the issue, another issue that comes to play from this motion, and it is the environment that women leaders in this country are operating in. It is also an open secret that women are the weaker sex physically, and that aggravates the claims by the deputy governor of Trans Nzoia on her personal security, on the concerns of her personal security. Mr. Speaker, we have seen, or governor candidates are known to pick female running mates, to appear that they are gender sensitive, or to look like they are considerate to the other gender, only for their true colors to show up once they're in that position, Mr. Speaker. And the blame is on the law, because we have created this position, and Omtata is very right to say that deputy governor's role is to act as a spare wheel. In case something happens to the governor, if in case he's incapacitated one way or another, then they fill the place of the governor. We, as a house that is concerned with devolution in this country, it is up to us to define the roles of deputy governors so that they're not at the mercy of the governor. The taxpayer is providing for money for that deputy governor to be paid. The taxpayer has provided for a residence for her and a vehicle. It is not a favor from the governor. It doesn't depend on the mood of her boss. It is injustice, because where the taxpayer is spending money and they don't get value for that money, simply because the governor has not found it worthy, I mean, there's a big lacuna in the law, Mr. Speaker. And we have spoken about this over and over again. I have not heard of any pending law before this House to bolster the position of a deputy governor. We are all in the political field. You never know where you might find yourself in coming political cycles. It is incumbent upon us to ensure that this position of deputy governor makes sense for devolution, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. There being
Senator, and of course he was addressing the issues of women being recognized in this country, being respected in this country after yesterday's saga. What happened yesterday in Butere, in Nakuru Girls, and that is in Nakuru County. But the governor of Nakuru has never spoken. Of course, she is out of the country, that is Susan Kiiga. I have seen the current posters in the social media, Instagram, and it's like Susan Kiiga as and his that is Susan Kiiga and her husband, that is Buru. They have gotten twins. So we are happy, and as Africa 24, we celebrate Susan Kiiga after getting twins with husband. That is the breaking news that we are seeing. I've seen it also being posted by the digital strategies of the Kenya Council government. He has posted social media, Instagram. I have seen several leaders also congratulating Susan Kiiga, bearing in mind that when you are over 45 years, then that is the age that you stop getting your menstruation, and that is where the time for you to give birth ends. But maybe Gods of Miracles has done it again. Anyway, politics. That was Karen Nyamu when he was responding to what happened in Nakuru. Teachers have also condemned the issue of students being tear gassed. Issue whereby students under 15 years are being tear gassed because of political intention. So what will happen if these girls are going to perform it? Because I've seen the play is currently in all social media platforms. If they are going to perform at the State House, so who will be present? Also, we have seen ODM grassroots elections. We have also seen UDA grassroots elections, and a lot of things happening when it comes to the politics of this country. But the main agenda we are having is the impact of presidential tour, the impact of William Ruto's tour to the mountain. What will these predict for 2027 general election? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be easy goes on for William Ruto, or is going to be a walkover when it comes to 2027?
That is his borders operandi is okay. But sending goons ndani ya kanisa, Rais, what happened to you? Ndani ya kanisa, surely hao watu ya kanisa ndio walikuombea. Sasa wewe umefika kiwango, ulinitumia goons Limuru kwa funeral, wakatuangaisha, tukasema ni sawa. The other December ukatutumia goons huko Shamata, wakatuangaisha, tukasema ni sawa. Last week ulikuwa umetuma watu huko Nyeri nje ya kanisa. Sasa umekuja mpaka umeingia ndani ya kanisa. Sawa, tulikuwa tunafikiria utapanga nje ya kanisa. But you have become bold. You don't care anymore that you are sending goons through the governor hapa ya Nairobi kuja kuangaisha kanisa la Kristo na kuangaisha sisi. It's okay, there is no problem. Wewe endelea kama unaona hivyo ni sawa, there is no problem. We are aware the Deputy Inspector General aliambia polisi wasikuje, but a few policemen in plain clothes walikuja wakasaidia pale, which is okay because there are some officers who are conscious that they have a constitutional obligation to protect life and property. Last week umetutumia polisi kutuangaisha Naivasha, which is okay. Lakini tunashangaa kwa nini? Kwa sababu wewe unatembea hapa kwetu mlimani, hakuna mtu amekuuliza. Si ametembea? Na nikaambia watu wamkaribishe. Bora walipe, si ndio? So we now let us be decent people. The way umekaribishwa pale, wachana na sisi tutembee mahali tunataka.
President ameshikana na Raila. Nataka kumwambia nikiwa nyumbani kwamba tulikuwa katika State House, sisi viongozi kutoka jamii yetu ya Mluya. Nenda kama Roy, nimboresha president ya Kulanjere, chinao rabla ita. Na kubora, mwanda fulani, nalomba. Shiko shende, nalomba. Ama ni khala hena wanembola, wah! Khali numuli muntu mwa rais. Inze nache kulwe kura. Shitza mbomba kwa rais mbili wewe. Mu State House. Manyina wa president kwamba Your Excellency, we respect you. We voted for you. Mimi ndio nilikuleta Luyaland. Sasa sisi tunataka tukikutana na wewe tusizungumze mambo yenye unataka kufanya. Tuzungumze na wewe mambo yenye unafanya. Hizi barabara miaka imepita 3. The story is the same. Tutafanya. We have appealed to the president. Maneno ya tutafanya, mwaka wa kwanza imeisha, wa pili imeisha, wa tatu unaenda. Hiyo siasa sio siasa ya kutegemea. We want politics that deliver. Mahoba kukuba wala na hola. niba mwenye nenda banga mudebati nendo wetangula inza khalwale na yambakana na mbora kenako ta bana be chichirane no malomanishi bikunde no kubera tuli support Kibaki sisi watu wa Malava na watu wa Ikolomani ndio mahali Kibaki alishinda peke yake 2007 na kutokana na hiyo Kibaki alinipatia lami kutoka Shikalagala all the way mpaka Bukura, all the way up to Butere. I want to appeal to the president when I'm at home kwamba ile support nilikupatia ukaingia Luyaland, we want you uitimize zile ahadi zenye sisi tulitumia kupata kura yako. Ukolombe shukuru sheru chitendeche Kakamega ujenge hospitali yeru Kakamega you elevated to level 6. Ni makosa makali sana your excellency, sisi ndio walikuwa wa kwanza alafu umeturuka umepatia Wajaluo level 6 hospital Kisumu na umetuacha nyuma. We are ahead in support of you. We are ahead of Raila. Luyaland is not an extension of any other community. Community ya Nyanza ikipata kwa rafiki yako na Raila, nataka Waluya wapate kwa ajili ya rafiki yako excellency na Khalwale na Mudavadi na ndio Wetangula. Ngatanga.
That is one of the greatest senators of Kakamega, and of course, he is one of the leaders who have been criticizing the Kenya Kwanza government. But he's telling the president that he will not agree with what is happening currently. He will not agree with what is happening currently because if you don't have a godfather, then you are going to be pressed by the government. That is what he is telling the president. That is one of the opposition leaders who have been pushing the government to do as what the manifesto says. Now we heard the deputy president currently, Kithure Kindiki, when he was addressing Kenyans, saying that the haters who think that he will not be able to give William Ruto a lot of votes in 2027, then they should shut up their mouth because he is ready to help the president, and his main work is currently helping the president to run the country. He is helping the president to run the country. My good friend Gibbs Ikona, karibu sana Gibbs Ikona, unaendeleaje Gibbs Ikona? And anyone who is following this conversation, how is everything? What is your take about the situation that we are experiencing? We moved from Gen Z to Gen Alpha being tear gassed. Are we in the right direction? Are we living in a situation whereby the government is having insecurity cases?
Mambo mmesema tung'ang'ane nayo, tutekeleze, tusaidiane. Mambo ya siasa, hakuna uchaguzi uko sahi. Kuna uchaguzi? Is there an election? Sio siku itafika. Unajua kuna watu wanatuangalia, wanaona kama ati hatujui kuuliza kura. Tunajua. But we also know there is time for everything. Hata Biblia inasema kila jambo iko na wakati wake. So siku ya kuomba kura ikifika, hata sitakuwa na suti, sitakuwa na tai. Mimi nitavaa t-shirts, nitavaa sijui nini, tunyoroshane na wale wengine. Kila mtu aseme vile alisaidia watu ya Gikomba wakati walichomeka. Si namna hiyo. Ule mwingine ambia watu ya Mudhurwa ama watu ya Marigiti vile aliwasaidia wakati alikuwa na nafasi namna hiyo. So we are not worried. What we are doing what government does. Government helps the people to reduce their problems. Si namna hiyo. Mambo ya kura itafika baadaye. So we are very determined to modernize trade and to dignify traders so that they can work in a place which is up to standard with all the amenities. And we have standardized the facilities we are providing in every market. Every market has places for selling the merchandise. Every market as a room for mothers with young children, lactating mothers, so that they can take time off, go, feed their babies, and come back and continue selling their wares. For the fresh produce trade, we are also providing cold rooms to ensure that the merchandise does not go bad. Kwa hivyo tunakazana kuboresha maslahi ya wanabiashara, wakiwemo wanabiashara wadogo wadogo, ili kuhakikisha kwamba kila mtu anajihisi ameheshimika. Hii serikali iko na ajenda kubwa sana ya kusaidia watu ya biashara. Ajenda yetu kwa watu ya biashara ni kuhakikisha kwamba wanabiashara wa viwango mbalimbali wako na nafasi ama mahali pazuri pa kufanyia biashara yao. Hiyo ndio bottom up economic transformation. Bottom up economic transformation means that even business people who are having small businesses, micro businesses, medium businesses should do their trade, their businesses in a dignified place with amenities, with all the facilities that they require, with water, lighting, good infrastructure. And that is why we are constructing 400 modern markets across Kenya. 10 of those markets are being done within the city of Nairobi as national government. Once we finish constructing the markets, we will hand them over to the respective county governments to run them together with the traders, so that we will not be having this issue of fire all the time because of the quality of our markets and the amenities, the facilities that are available in our markets. Going forward, for Gikomba, I think a toy market and a few other markets that have had repeated incidents of fire, we must go to the root cause, and therefore the president has directed the relevant agencies to investigate and the causes of these fires. It doesn't make sense to imagine that all these things are accidents, because they keep on happening year in, year out. And therefore, that work is ongoing to make sure that we get into the roots of this matter and resolve it once and for all. Kwa hivyo,
There are those who are saying that we don't know how to go and ask for voters to give their vote cast to them. There are those who are saying that Kithure Kindiki is not able to pull a large number of crowds to come and support William Ruto. That is what he is saying. And he is saying that he will change when it comes to the politics time. There is time for everything. Now it's time for working for the people of Kenya. That is what he's saying. Now they're working for the people of Kenya, and the entire Kenya Kwanza government, they are committed in ensuring that the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza is attained before 2027. Now we are in 2025. 2026 is next year, and then in 2027, the year of campaigns and general elections. Are we going to have developments being initiated by the Kenya Kwanza government? Of course, after what we have seen for the last 2 years. The last 2 years has been a total ups and down. Kenya Kwanza government fighting with the Kenyans, citizens, political leaders also fighting change of the cabinet, change of permanent principal secretaries. A lot has happened for the last 3 years. And this is something that we as Kenyans, we have not experienced in the other government since the colonial government, and also to Moi's era. We came to Kibaki, Uhuru Kenyatta, but these are the kind of things that happen during William Ruto regime. We also experienced the Gen Z. The Gen Z is a movement that was experienced during William Ruto. Now, this was Cleophas Malala over the weekend before he was arrested after what it was allegedly termed as the play that he wrote was to criticize the government.
Hi. Kanisa yetu ya PCA Mwiki, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hebu tuone salamu kwa hewa. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kwanza kabisa, mimi vile nimeambiwa, majina yangu ni Senator Cleophas Malala kutoka kule Kakamega, kule Ingo. Mimi ndio nimekuwa katibu mkuu wa chama cha UDA. Lakini tulitoka huko, sasa hivi tuko kwa safari nyingine. Na mimi leo nimekuja hapa kumsindikiza kiongozi wangu, naibu rais wa pili wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. Na vile nimefika hapa, nimeona mambo ya ajabu. Rare instances. Nimeona mambo sijaiona kwa maisha yangu. Ati kwamba tuko na viongozi ambao wanaweza tuma vijana kupiga watu, kupiga wale ambao wanaabudu Mwenyezi Mungu. Mimi nimeshangaa na nimesema tu kwamba tumwachie Mwenyezi Mungu hiyo vita. Sisi hatuwezi ingilia kati ya hiyo vita. Na mimi nakumbuka vizuri sana wakati Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa anang'atuliwa kama naibu rais. Tulikuwa na nguvu yote ya kufanya maandamano, ya kuchoma mali za watu, ya kupiga watu. Lakini kiongozi wetu alituambia, hata kama wanamtoa, tafadhali tunataka amani. Hivi majuzi, rais amekuwa Mlima Kenya karibu siku 7. Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua akasema anataka amani. Uongozi utoka kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Mnaweza patia watu pombe, mnaweza patia watu pesa, mnaweza tumia polisi, lakini uongozi utoka kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. So tafadhali, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, wewe leo ndio umepatia vijana pesa kupitia Sakaja na ukaambia DIG I withdraw security. Na nia yao haikuwa kuharibu madhabahu. Walikuwa wametuma paka tuko na watu ambao wako na bunduki, walikuwa wametuma waje paka hapa wamtoe Rigathi Gachagua akiwa madhabahu, ati wambebe juu na juu. Sisi tungependa kuambia hao vijana kwamba ni sawa. You have intimidated Rigathi enough times. Mulimtoa kwa kiti yake akanyamaza. Akaenda nyumbani, mkamfuata nyumbani. Mkachukua askari wake. Mkaenda kwa familia yake. Akienda matanga, mnampiga kule. Ameamua kunyamaza, ameamua kufanya mambo yake. Leo amekuomba Mwenyezi Mungu, tena mnamfuata. That is inhuman of you, Mr. President. Mimi nakuomba rais, kumbuka mahali ulitoka na huyu Rigathi Gachagua. Watu uko sana, watu tofautiana kimawazo, lakini usiwe na hiyo roho ya kutaka kumaliza mwenzako mpaka kaburini. But we want to assure you, our deputy president, ati wewe uko tuna watu wa mlima peke yake. Hata sisi kutoka kule mkoa wa Magharibi tuko na wewe Rigathi Gachagua. And I want to assure you of my personal support and my community's support. Nitatembea na wewe sababu wewe ni mtu wa kusema ukweli. Wewe ni mtu wa kusema ukweli. Uliambia rais kwamba hii Kenya inaharibika, hakusikia. Sasa hivi anaona yeye mwenyewe.
That was Cleophas Malala when he was speaking. And that was when they were attacked by the goons in Kasarani Mwiki over the weekend. Sunday. That was on Sunday. Yes, on Sunday. And Gachagua was in attendance. And also Gachagua spoke and said that this is something that they will not agree, they will not allow it to happen in churches because it's bad situation that is reflecting to our country and also East Africa and also the entire world. I think after that, that is when we had the plan for the dramas, and that is over the week where it all happened. And now Cleophas Malala was also arrested, and he is the former SG, Secretary General of the ruling party, UDA. And I remember even during the 2022, he used to tour at the State House. I don't know what happened, but politics in this country, you need to just be aware that politics is dynamic in this country. Politics is dynamic in this country. Over the weekend, a lot is going to happen, but make sure you all get tuned here in Africa 24 for more and quality news updates.